it's a surprise guest day today. I've got a guest for you.
Okay. Yep. As you I am nervous. I don't know why.
Testing.
Am I sounding right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes
Are
me
you nervous?
Yeah, I do get nervous. I don't know why. You've told Petra, and she sort of held it over me last night. She's going, I know who it is. And so I started asking her questions, and she just kept saying, I'm not telling you anything. And I was like, well, why is David...
What are you nervous about?
It's the unknown. I don't know.
Yeah. So how are you going to be when a face pops up?
Oh, I'll definitely do that. Like a fucking really over-needy, making sure they know that I'm pleased to see them.
Oh, really? So you're not pleased to see a lot of the guests?
No, I am, but I want them to know. So I'll go. So rather than have a natural reaction, I'll fake it.
Oh, really? It's a bit fake.
Well, no, it's not. It's just this. I'm just being honest. There's a lot of things going on in my head at that one moment.
Like what?
I want them to make sure that they feel comfortable knowing that I think that it's great that they're on.
Fucking hell. What else is going on in your head?
I'm probably thinking how to keep them entertained, even though...
And what you mean, make them laugh?
Well, not even that I'm sort of immediately going, God, I hope they have a nice time doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little bit. To be honest, I feel like I might faint. There's a responsibility, isn't there, when you're the...
Yeah, it's like when we host anything, like if we have dinner or anything like that, and it's all right if Petra's sort of the reason that people are coming round, but if I've had anything to do with it, I feel the weight of it.
I don't know if you've met them.
How? Right, can you... I'm
not telling you anything.
But how did you get them to come on?
I'm not telling you anything.
Do they know they're a surprise guest?
Yes.
I always find that a bit weird telling people that. I don't know why.
Yeah, you find anything weird. And so you don't tell them people the truth, and then it becomes awkward.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but there's naught I can do about it.
Well, there is.
There is.
Just be honest.
But that would mean self-analysing.
Would it?
I don't know. Oh.
Just say, can you... We're basically, it's a surprise guest, so, I'm not keen on that. Oh, okay, no worries. Cheers, bye.
Yeah, okay, that is simpler, yeah.
So I then go, I didn't know you were coming on. Did you not? No. Oh, why? Oh, because Joe...
Joe might put a layer of awkwardness in that didn't need to be there. I sort of want this just to start.
You must have loads of bake-off buddies that could be surprise guests. Haven't you?
Yeah, I've got hundreds. Bake-off buddies, fuck you. Bake-off buddies.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, but the way you said it was clearly barbed.
A barbed bake-off buddy comment.
Ep.
So in about 4 minutes, my surprise guest will be entering the Zoom meeting room.
And Joe hopefully will feel less sick.
Don't let me down.
Oh, no, don't be a cunt.
No, don't be weird around them.
I think I'm quite good at hiding it.
I think you're really good. It's amazing you get booked for these little light entertainment.
Well, because everything that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Get Joe on. He's easy going. Creates a nice little atmosphere.
From the waist up, he's fine. The legs are going. Oh, fucking hell.
Am I recording?
That's the latest we said. Am I recording in an ep? I
think 10 minutes in.
Are you recording the Zoom bit though? Because I'm
really worried we haven't got any space on my Mac.
Oh fucking hell!
Oh shit! It is getting flipping hell.
We had this with Dermot, didn't we? You thought we'd lost Dermot.
Flipping hell.
Do the admin now while they come on, before they come
Just
on.
dumping old stuff we've recorded. It's a shame because some of them will be good little videos, but get rid of that.
It's good to do this 11 minutes into a record.
It's during the pod.
Hi, person who's come on who David's
Bloody hell, it's annoying though.
removing stuff from his desktop. Oh, come on, start.
Here we go.
Are they in? Are they here?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Why do I swear at this point?
Yeah.
What's that? Super vehement. What's that mean? Oh, my God. Hello, Harry.
What?
How are you? Oh, my God.
That's my wife. That's my wife.
Take the call.
No, it's my wife.
How are you?
She's. I know what she's phoning about. She's phoning about rescheduling a delivery of compost from B&Q.
Is she?
Yeah, but they only allow you to reschedule it if it's later than 24 hours. Now I have a delivery booked for tomorrow, so
it's tight.
it's not looking promising. That's my opener.
I'd love. Can you not answer it? Oh, I'd love to hear that little conversation.
She's gone. She's gone. You missed a call from me. If I'd known it was that sort of...
It's that loose, mate. It's that loose. Anything goes.
Thank you for being our surprise guest,
Yeah,
Harry.
thank you, Harry. Lovely to see you.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the show when I listen to it. I haven't managed to yet, but I know that I'm going to love it. I mean, just based on the experience so far, the content. It's all about content.
Yeah, we've got a lot of content. The quality is varying.
Joe was really nervous.
Because it's a surprise. I don't.
Yeah.
I find it really stressful.
Well, he wants our guests to really like him.
I want you
to have a nice time.
Yeah, and you have got that, that long list of arch enemies, haven't you, Joe?
Well, yeah.
Very few people that haven't had some beef with you over the years.
There are a few actually.
Well, yeah. I'm one of the nice guys. Surely I'm one of the nicest. Well, thank you. This is Matt. I can't believe this. This is.
Have you met?
Yes, we've met. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, we haven't met.
No.
I always wanted to meet.
I can't believe anyone would ever say that about me.
Do you not really care? Do you not really care about Joe?
Always wanted to meet him. No, we met. When did we meet? We met somewhere.
We met in Manchester. And cats, yes. About a year ago.
Yeah, cats. About a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah. They never put that one out, I don't think.
No, it didn't. Didn't sort of gel, did it? Well, we had a massive argument in the middle of it, and both stormed off, which didn't help.
It was weird because that was one they did. They said, it's when it was the old COVID thing. It'll be there's no audience. Okay, it'd just be the crew.
Yeah.
It'd just be the crew, and I think, great, be 25 friendly faces. And it's like 4.
Yeah, and they have to sit through rehearsals all day.
Yeah, it was bad, and my bit was the voice activated fridge where
that's right. Yeah, everything was being thrown at you.
Yeah, it just went for nothing, and I was just being sprayed with stuff from the assistant producer sat in a fridge, and I had to sit through the whole recording in wet clothes.
I did think that when it was happening. Do you know it's a 3-hour record, Harry?
and then they didn't put it out.
What did you have to do, Joe? What were you doing? Come on.
I can't remember.
I remember, no. Why would you?
Where are you, Harry? Where are you in the world?
I'm in London, South London.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
It looks. I was sort of. It looks like you have. I don't know. I was trying to look at your office and go, what part of the country you were based on the.
Yeah, well, you can recognise these probably. These are.
That's London based.
Yeah, London. installed by the London Shutter Company. You know, it's all the London Wood Floor Company, the London Wood Door Company, the London,
Yeah. You don't like to travel far to have stuff brought to you, do you?
It
like
just means another naught on the end, basically. London. They take the naught from London, the two noughts from London, and they stick on the bill.
No, they don't.
Oh dear. I remember we did a gig years ago. I don't know if you remember, in Whitstable at their Matt Crosby's gig, and I think you were.
Matt Crosby, was that at the Horse Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, that gig. That gig was really. I had some of the most bizarre nights there. But I think you just sort of started coming back to stand up, and you did this amazing sort of. I think you did about an hour, and it was fucking brilliant. But I was that venue was so weird. I don't know if you remember. Like
yeah. It
was like a really middle class sort of audience, but something odd always happened in that gig.
Did you used to host it then?
No, Matt did, but I used to go down quite a lot because he struggled to book people, I think. So I would sort of genuinely be like, "Oh, you wouldn't come down again, would you?"
Yeah.
And it was just such an odd.
I just remember it being a bit odd. I can't remember the details. Really.
It was quite a high stage, but there would always be like everyone, like maybe a third of the audience would be smashed, like posh smashed, sort of red wine smashed, and sort of. Those sort of horrible joiny in people.
Yeah,
those guys.
I don't remember the details of it, but I do remember doing it.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's what the podcast's sort of about. This it's that gig. That's why we got you on.
Yeah, it's the what's it called? The Horse Theatre Special.
Horse episode.
Horse Bridge. Sorry.
Yeah. And
do you know Harry?
Yeah. Go on.
I only started comedy because of you. Do you know that?
So cheers for that.
Well, you told me.
No, that's an obvious.
I remember meeting you, David, at the Tufnell, what's it called, Aces and Eights.
Oh, was that Harry's gig?
Harry Deansway,
yeah. And I remember meeting you there, and you said something similar to me then. I think it was you and John Cairns.
Yeah. Honestly, Harry, I watched Man Alive when I was about 21, and it's the most I've never laughed at anything since.
Yeah, well, that makes me feel very old.
Is that what you're taking from that, Harry? Just an age thing, rather than the enormous compliment that it is.
No, but I was thinking the other day, I was like, God, if I hadn't, watched that, laughed at that. No, I don't think so.
No, I think he's still
thinking of bailing out. Because I tried to copy your act for 5 years. So.
Thing was,
how do you do it?
Yeah, how do you do it?
Is
that the secret? Is that the secret?
I don't even do that anymore. I remember.
Did you do it for the first time? You thought, I've got something here.
I'm going to plough on with this.
I remember my then agent saying to me, when you come on, you do that noise. And people and everyone laughs. I said, yeah. He goes, it's good, but don't do it so much.
Was he a bit embarrassed by it?
He was.
Was he embarrassed having to leave the venue with you?
That's my act up there.
Yeah. No,
I put a lot of time into that fella.
I remember at one point when I was doing, I don't know if you've had this experience, but when you do it a lot, when you do it every night of the week, your act.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was doing it every night of the week, and I couldn't manage. I wasn't turning over enough to stay interested in it, and I was just, and I was kind of. There was a stage where I was kind of going through the motions, and I would just sort of go up And I'd go, like the lining. Yeah. And I remember coming off, and Simon Munnery was there. You had Simon Munnery.
Oh, yeah.
Urban Warrior. He said to me, do you ever feel trapped by that character? I thought, yeah, actually. This point. So I had a break. Yeah.
You must have had some shockers, Harry.
Gigs.
Some terrible gigs.
Yeah. Well, that one, 80s and 8s, wasn't. Was that the night I tried out that caveman?
Yeah.
I love the fact it was years ago. And it's stuck in your head. All right, what's the caveman bit, please? Why did it go wrong?
So, I had this idea. I had this idea that I would come on I had this tape recording. I think it was actually a cassette. I don't know what it was. Anyway, it was a tape. And it was me saying that I'd found this caveman. And then I would introduce, then the voice would introduce the caveman, and then I would come on just as a caveman, right? and it would say, and the tape would say things. It would say, I have taught it to speak, and then I would go, and then the voice would say words like Nando's, and I go, no, and then he'd go, right? That may be funny for a couple of minutes, but because the tape was a set length, you know that thing where you have a thing and it's a set length, and once you start, you can't get out.
No, it's awful, isn't it? And your mind's jumping ahead, going, "This is 4 minutes long."
Yeah, and this is cold sweat. There's no big punchline at the end of it.
You didn't. You hardly had any clothes on as well.
Yeah, and then. And so I did that, and then of course I was stuck in the outfit for the rest of the act as well. When they paid to see the big collar, it was. But I remember you and John Cairns were like, "Oh yeah, that's you." Were really kind of thrilled to see that I had died, and that it could happen to someone like me. That it could happen to someone like me.
It is a wonderful moment. You go,
it's great. It's great.
Not all ideas work,
and I think that's true. However you are, wherever you get to, you always have. I remember doing that Amnesty International one. It was what's it called? We Know Where You Live, Wembley Arena. Oh, right, it was Eddie Izzard had organised it. It was the Eddie Izzard show. Really, it was Eddie. He was in the dressing room. We were all in. I was in the dressing room with Al Murray and Harry Enfield and Vic and Bob. It was like a really good lineup. And anyway, he goes on, it's packed, so everyone's there for Eddie. Really, this is about when Eddie Izzard was there. And I remember, so I stood by the side of the stage and watched him. He went on. I basically was struggling, really struggling. He's doing sort of just, just mucking about, but struggling. They just weren't.
Oh, I love it.
And I thought, oh wow, this is with your home crowd. And he dug deep. I could see him digging deep and going into like a routine, like a proper thing. And it was okay in the end, but it was a lesson. Yeah.
What about when you had TV Burp?
Yeah.
Because I find I get stressed whenever I've got a job coming up. Yeah. How was that, having a mainstream?
Awful. Well,
oh my God.
Well, I always think it's the prospect of work that's nice, isn't it? Rather than work.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I got something coming up.
Now I have to do it.
But the first time, I remember the first. When they gave us the series, and then because like the pilot, we had we had ages. Although it was supposed to be about the week's TV, you could have a couple of weeks either side really. And but then when they gave us the series, so basically I had to sit down on, never having done it really, sitting down on the Saturday to write the show that we record on the Thursday.
Oh, I'm out. Can't do it. Too stressed.
Yeah. It was like. I can't do this. but then it sort of got exciting, and actually by the end of it, didn't faze me at all.
Really?
Yeah, I would just think, I can do. Just what was great about it was it taught me that. I mean, it wasn't just me. Obviously, we had lots of contributors, and often they would they'd come in with like a whole bit that they worked out. So, but they never had to actually put it together. That was the thing. So like we'd have the meeting, right? Which was, we'd all bring in our clips, stuff that we watched, and some of it, and I would write down in these books all this, goat looks like a man looks like a rockery looks like a man's face was one I remember. I remember David Quantick coming in saying, "Oh yeah, I found a rockery on Emmerdale looks like a man's face." Right?
Sure. But
he plays the clip. He plays the clip, and it's got a nose and it's got teeth. It hasn't got any eyes. I'm saying, where's the eyes? Right, so I write all this stuff down. At the end of the meeting, all the writers get up and go. I remember one saying, "Yeah, I didn't get much this week."
I always think that must be an amazing situation to, like, being one of the writers. You hand it over because you're sort of playing, aren't you, the week, and then go, right, go and do the scary stuff now, Harry. Bye.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Off to the pub.
Yeah, I've always wanted to. I've never really done anything where I've just. I mean, in the early days, I used to write for radio, where you could just, there's something nice about being a writer, isn't there? I think
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've done it loads, and it's really it's amazing because you're sort of going, I'm sort of just doing creative stuff, but I'm not. What's different? I haven't got a knot in my shoulders. Basically. And you sort of and you hand stuff over. Some of it you're not quite sure about, and you haven't made work because you haven't got a say. You're sort of going, not sure about that, but I haven't got to say it. So there you go.
I learned early on not to hire comics to write for it. We had
really what?
Yeah, we had Dave Gorman. Over the years, we were trying to find writers. Dave Gorman did it for a bit, and Richard Herring did it for a bit. Chris Addison did it for a bit, but they weren't. They were always out. They kept the best gags for themselves, and they're working every night.
Right. Yeah. And how did it come about?
We might have to get a little bit of heat there, Joe, with that little.
What gets?
Well, just a little insight.
Oh yeah, this'll blow up. Harry, we're all about. I'll let you into a little secret. We're all about going up the charts, and we are very much rooted at 26. We cannot get out of the mid-20s.
Oh, that's
very frustrating.
26 is good, isn't it?
Well, we hit 11 a couple of weeks ago, so we're hoping that little bit of insider might just up we pop.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little bit more obsessed with it than. But how did the show come about? Was it your idea, or was it like a thing? A burp?
Oh well, the weird thing was that Gary Bushell, remember Gary Bushell?
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
So bizarrely, he was a fan of mine, oddly, from the early old Channel 4 show, kind of weirdly. And when he did the TV page in the Sun, and when he went on holiday, he asked me to cover for him.
Obviously, right. Yes, like for like.
Yeah, very odd, just very odd. Because I mean, literally, that was that. I had that little Channel 4 show then, and I did that, and it was really good fun. I kind of did a similar thing. I watched these shows. I mean, to give those tabloid TV critics, some credit. The broadsheets, they just cover like one show, don't they, or two shows, or. But those tabloid guys, they do like Ali Ross, whatever. They do like, and they got to do the big show. They got to do EastEnders. They got to do Holby. They got to do whatever, Mars Singer, all this sort of big stuff. And they got to do lots. It's very gag oriented. So I did that. I did it 3 or 4 times, And I used to look forward to Gary's holidays more than he did because it was good money. And it was good money. Yeah, I think it was about 1,200 quid.
Every Christmas, my friend puts a thing on Facebook, which is something from TV Burp, and every year I think of telling you that she does this. It's like a tradition.
Well,
now I'm sort of going. My friend Julie, every year on about the 15th of December, to sort of say Christmas has begun.
Yeah.
And she puts this clip up, and then the comments are always like, "Oh, I love that," basically we wait for her to post this up, and it's the clip of. Do you remember the guy in JLS saying Merry Christmas?
Yeah.
It's possibly the funniest thing. And I've now had it sent to me maybe 8 years on the trot. And every year, it's the most bizarre. He can't say Merry Christmas very well, can he? Basically.
It was. I remember spotting that. I used to cover X Factor and Pop Idol and all that, and but you have to watch a lot of it, to get.
And then you get.
But anyway,
how much TV were you watching?
Well, I was just watching all the time.
And you have to watch the sort of, not obviously the stuff that you like, if you know what I mean. I doubt you were a massive X Factor.
Well, there were a few things I liked. Because I had 3 daughters, so we did like the X Factor. But the thing with the X Factor, what I used to do is I would write the show on Saturday. So I'd start writing sort of 9 o'clock Saturday morning, and then I would have it finished by about 5:30, 6 maybe at the latest. And then I'd go downstairs, have a drink and watch X Factor with a pad of paper, making notes because it was live.
Right.
Later ones were, the live things. So I was always a bit drunk by then, and and that helped. Yeah, what we would do, we'd get VHSs. We'd get couriered around these VHSs, right? So I'd be sitting watching. Yeah, it's interesting this because all the other writers feel exactly the same. Right? So when every series I would turn up, and at the first meeting I would say, "Let's make this one our last, guys," and they would. Anyway, we would, and no one. When I said, "Oh, I can't do it anymore. We're going to stop." No one said, "Oh, go on."
Okay, fine.
So what would happen?
Bye.
What would happen? You'd be watching Emmerdale. You'd get the omnibus of Emmerdale, right? So it's like 3 hours of Emmerdale. While you were watching it, you'd hear VHS coming through VHS is coming through the letterbox.
Oh no!
Of the net, right? So you never.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and it was, and even like and I would be mad. I got a bit mad, I'd be phoning up the producer saying, "Why haven't we had Ice Road Truckers yet? Where's this week's edition of Celebrity Coast Trip?" Don't worry, they're coming to you. And you'd be lying in bed at midnight. You go to bed, and then it would be midnight. Ice Road Truckers. So you'd be watching it. The thing about it was that it was an awful mixture of kind of pressure and boredom. So you'd be watching, because you'd be watching.
They tend to go hand in hand, do they?
Yeah, you knew at the beginning of the week you had nothing, and at the end of the week you had to have enough, and so you'd be watching whatever it was, Freaky Eaters or something, and you wouldn't get anything out of it, and you'd be really bored, and you'd be really stressed. You think, fuck, and you can't speed it up. You couldn't fast forward.
No.
You miss little bits,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was the fun bit was the recording. The recording day usually was pretty good fun.
If you sat through an episode of Emmerdale, would you always find something in there?
No.
Oh my.
No. It was because I always felt like it was Emmerdale heavy.
You'd put,
in a good way.
Yeah.
You'd put something down, but you'd know it wasn't very good.
Right.
What sort of, and when you record it, because it was like a half-hour show, how much would you actually have in like clips?
So the first series, the first producer, up until we did 7 series, and the producer told me you can only put in 100 clips in the script, right? Because the machine only takes 100. You can only play in 100 clips, right? So I would always hit 100, and I would have to cut stuff that and then he went, and the new producer, I wrote the script, and he said, "Why didn't you include this clip or that clip?" Or I said, "Well, I'm up to 100 clips. Machine only takes 100 clips." He said, "Who told you that?"
No, it was bollocks.
Yeah, it was basically to get me to stop writing such long scripts.
Wow.
Because all the clips had to be sourced, and it was like a massive job. So in the end, we would sometimes play 140 clips, and then the show would end up with, I don't know how many were in it. Probably only 60 or 40. I don't know how many clips were in the end.
But that seems ridiculous.
But you'd lose a lot. Yeah, you'd lose a lot we'd rehearse it during the day, and then we cut a lot in the rehearsal, and then it was all that last minute thing, right? Rewriting. And
when it was over, did you feel a weight off?
Huh?
Like, when you did eventually finish, did you feel like a weight off? Did you sort of?
Oh yeah. The weird thing was that on the last recording, we had. All the staff were like in tears. They were all crying and really upset. And I was like, driving away from the studio at the end, I thought, thank God, we got away with it. My feeling was always that we got away with it. Because although some episodes are stronger than others, I never felt like we did a really, really bad one. When we came pretty close, and so I just felt, we never actually got round to doing a really bad one. We started repeating ourselves, and every clip, if someone threw a ball at the camera, it would come back and leave me hit by the ball. You could see it coming a mile off. But we had to fill a show.
Was anyone who was belting at finding clips, like someone you just sort of if they were ill or something, you were like, oh shit, like blah blah, she's not in or he's not in?
Well, they were all really good, but I wouldn't like to single anyone out. But there were 4 of them, and the good thing about it was that they were really tough on me, and I was really tough on them. So they would never let me get away with something a bit, not great, or that, they would really have a go at me if I wrote something in the script that they thought was a bit lazy. So that was tough, but it was good. And the producer was similar. But at the same time, they would let me, if they thought, if I was convinced there was something in it, I remember that thing about, we used to do this, I can't remember where it came from, but it was a jelly. And you cut to the jelly, and it'd be cuts of this jelly wobbling. I can't remember why. And obviously, written in the script, that doesn't read as much. Cut to jelly. It affects wipeout. And I remember him writing on the script, the producer writing, "Really?" Yeah, but yeah, so there's a lot of stuff, and a lot of it I don't remember a lot of it. When I watch some of them, you know, if I watch them on YouTube or something, or I catch a clip of it, I don't remember recording it even. Some of it.
I suppose the turnover.
You know, when you were a doctor, sorry, I really want to get onto. Have you looked at people's bottoms and things?
Yeah.
Have you?
Favourite one?
No, but hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Have you? What's that like?
Well, you have to sort of put on. It's like you kind of have to be like put on an act in a way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just come up with a
You don't do the head thing. You don't do the head thing when there's.
You come up with a phrase. So what I used to say was, and I probably picked it up off somebody who taught me. I would say you'd examine the patient, you know, take the history, and then the last thing you do, obviously, is that, you know, finger up there. So I would say, okay, that's all right. Now I just need to examine the tail end. Everyone knows straight away what's coming. Yeah. Say, I just need to examine your tail end. So if you could roll onto your left side, bring your knees up to your chest and take a deep breath. There we are.
I kind of want you to do it now. I'll be there in an hour and 20.
Yeah. But what's that?
Yeah.
I can't. But does that ever get normal? Do you ever get used to it?
Well, I never liked it.
You got a big smile on your face. You're drifting off thinking about it. It was the one thing that kept you a doctor for those 2 extra years, wasn't it? Couldn't give it up.
God.
Yeah. I never liked it. I mean, I used to be, the one thing that I didn't like, or worse than that, was if someone was sick. If someone threw up, then that would make me want to throw up.
Well, what, in the office? In your surgery?
In casualty or something. So I go and see the patient and they go, and they throw up, and I begin saying, oh.
See, I thought all doctors were fine with that. Genuinely did.
That was the thing particularly that I didn't like. Then I remember once being called to a patient. Right, this is like my first job. So where I didn't know anything, and I got called to the ward. Doctor, can you come quickly? There's some brown stuff. It looks like feces coming out of a man's stomach, right? So I was thinking, come off that, come on. You know, what is this? You know, a science fiction film. And I go in, pull the curtain down, and the nurse pulls off the dressing. All this horrible smell, feces basically, pouring out of his stomach. I went, what? Jesus Christ. What's that?
What?
I had no idea. What it was. It's impossible. It's just like bizarre.
Was it like a wound? Did he have a wound? What is it?
Yeah, so he'd had some operation on his stomach, and a piece of his large intestine, which is responsible for all that stuff, had become stuck to where it had been healing. It had come stuck to it and it burst through. Yeah, it was horrible. So he had to go for an operation. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff. So it's horrible.
And then, no.
on your Chatterbox.
I wish it was called Chatterbox. Then I wouldn't have to say it's called Chatterbox. Still can't quite cope with the name.
You do this every day.
Every day, yeah.
Amazing. It's great. What a commitment. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I've thought about, I never really hammered the old internet, the web, never really fully embraced it. And I keep thinking, maybe this year I'll, if I was to really go at it, maybe I'd find out what everyone's going on about. What's your experience?
Draining.
No, we like it, don't we?
No, it is good fun. It is good fun. It's every day is.
Yeah.
Is
live.
Mad.
Is it live?
Yeah. No. We don't really. Well, David editors, but if we say anything particularly controversial, that gets taken out. But generally,
we want it to be like This Morning in the pod world.
Yeah, we will Zoe Ball and whoever she does the morning breakfast show.
But most of the time, we sort of don't want to do it, so we're just kind of saying we don't want to do this.
It's a battle, and.
We can turn it on. Yeah, well, you've certainly turned it on for us today.
This is quite a buoyant F, actually.
This isn't bad, this one.
This is top 300.
You know, I was... I've got this autobiography out.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
There we go. But this is...
Took him 20 minutes.
In it.
Every book on your shelf is your autobiography.
There's a bit in it about when I got a job as a Capital Radio DJ.
When was this?
Well, I know. It's the only job I was ever sacked from. And this was back in the early 2000s. The Channel 4 show had dried up. And I just did that pilot for TV Burp. And it was all a bit might be over type thing. And so I did it for the money. And basically, I had to. He said to me, the guy that hired me, he said, "Look, come in." He said, it was a Sunday lunchtime show, right? I think it was 2 hours, or anyway. He said, "Come in." He says, "We get a technician. You can have a little play around with it, get the feel for what you want to do." Okay. So I said, "Okay, great." So I go in one afternoon. I go in with the technician. I sat down in the booth, and it's that Capital Radio building opposite Leicester Square. And I couldn't think of anything to say. Right?
Yeah.
And I go, "Hi, it's Harry Hill here on Capital Radio." And I go, point to the technician, and he plays Evanescence. What's that one? Oh God! Anyway, it's a song. That's the time of Evanescence. And then it comes back to me, obviously, and all the time that song's playing, I'm just panicking. I look out the window and I see the Aberdeen Steakhouse. The Aberdeen. And I say, I'm looking out the window and I can see the Aberdeen Steakhouse. Maybe you've got a story about steak. Give us a ring, and he plays Ignition. He plays Ignition by R. Kelly. Guy's sitting there. The guy who's hired me. He's looking at me, right? Oh God! And I like cold sweat. Is it too late to get out of it? He goes, "No, you'll be fine. Once you get live."
What, you weren't live then? Was this just a little pilot?
A little practice.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't live. Because for the live thing, what I decided to do was I wrote a script. I wrote the whole thing was scripted. And he didn't that guy that hired me didn't last long. And then a new guy said to me once, he bumps into me in the corridor. He says, "Oh, Harry," he says, "I'm glad I bumped into you." He says, "We should have a chat about your show."
When we can end it.
Yeah, he said, have you thought about playing 2 songs back to back?
You thought of having less of you.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement. Yeah. So I never had anyone what I needed was a posse.
Yeah,
right.
Little gang.
What I needed was a posse.
A couple of years ago, we went in for an interview thing on, I think it was, I can't remember what channel.
Was it Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And when it was sort of back, because it was exactly that, like music, and then there'd be like 2 minutes of sort of solid chat, and then another song, and we were just sat there going, "Oh, yeah, we definitely couldn't do this."
Yeah.
Absolutely not in our...
It's like when you phone up those when you have to do a regional interview to flog tickets for your tour or something, and they say, right, it's the breakfast show, it's like 2 PM or something. It's the breakfast show. They go, it's a pre-recorded, it's for tomorrow. I'm going to put you through to Chris now, or whatever, and you get to Chris, and Chris goes, oh, hi, Harry. Yeah, look, thanks for doing this, and so we're going to start recording now. Hi, it's Hey! Oh, Harry, great. What? It's just that artifice, isn't it? That thing that's what I didn't like about TV Burp was just the way it was, the long runs, knowing that it was what I was going to be doing.
Yeah.
What I like about shows, and I didn't like it initially because of where I came from. What I did, my anxiety was, how am I going to pay the bills and all that? I had responsibilities, kids and stuff. But actually, what I've come round to thinking is I like the uncertainty of it. Actually, to a point.
Right.
To a point.
Yeah, but you're all right now, aren't you? Is it uncertain? You're all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's the kind of boost. That's the kind of boost he was hoping for.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
All right, and you?
I had that. Well, I think our generation, my generation, the man alive generation, we had the best of it in many ways.
Yeah, annoying. It's sort of annoying.
Well, let's hope it changes, or it comes back, but it was great. It was brilliant fun, and there's, like, in the 90s, there was just loads of work. Cash.
Because we spoke to Craig Cash, and he said when they did The Royal Family, they made a nice amount of money from the VHS sales, and then it went into DVDs and made it again.
Because they brought all their favourite videos again.
Yeah. I never made any money from that sort of thing, really. And the thing with TV Burp is it was, big at the time and then dead.
Yeah.
Then dead.
Complete waste of time. Yeah.
What was it, when you came and did my gig, Harry, what was that joke? I can't remember it. I remember laughing a lot, but it was something to do with EastEnders, talking to the audience. Can you remember?
Oh, yeah.
What was it again?
Well, it's my put down. I've got 2 put downs. I've only got 2 put downs. And that one is, I say, if it's someone heckling me or being a bit annoying, and often they don't, it's not malice, is it? Often they just want to be involved. And I say, tell you what, I said, seeing as you want to be involved, I said, I used to watch a lot of the soaps, a lot of EastEnders for a show I used to do called TV Burp. Okay, and that would normally get a little cheer, so get on my side. I'd say, if you like, if you tell me some information about yourself, I can tell you what, if you were a character on EastEnders, some of the plot lines that might be written for you, right? So then bizarrely they get drawn in. So what's your name? Oh, Julie Christie. Okay, Julie Christie. Okay, what's your star sign? I'm a Capricorn. Okay, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work in a baker's. Okay, you work in a baker's. So it's Julie, a Capricorn, you work in a baker's. Okay, first day on the square, run over. and then sometimes I would say, but you're not killed, you're in a coma. Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
What were your, I think, it's like you two, like when I saw you and you two, and when I saw, that night at Aces and Eights with John Cairns, I think people like us, we gravitate towards each other. When I see you or Joe, in a club or on TV, I think, oh, great, one of us. I don't know if you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great, there's another one in the gang.
Yeah. But honestly, Harry, when I started, I was like, I basically used to watch your act and go, right, what's he doing? What's he doing here? How's he remembering this? What's he doing?
Yes, yeah. Remember I think but you must have had a similar problem. Because you can't handle hecklers in the same way as just a straight up, you know.
No. I found the longer I went on, I hardly got any hecklers. It was in the early days. I guess you weren't equipped and they sensed. Sensed it.
It's true, isn't it? A sense, the weakness that you can, and it just run without you doing anything. It just runs away from you. And you're like, what am I doing? Why have I lost them? Why are they not? Oh God.
Yeah.
Did
you ever play the Bearcat Club? Did I ever tell you about the?
Yeah, I have done.
The worst death I ever saw was at the Bearcat Club. It was this, I won't tell you who it was, but he was a Scottish comic. And that club is always tough because there's no compare. You know, it's just announced as and now everyone, you know, it's Ariel or whatever. And so there's no one to sort of settle them down or sort any trouble out. And it's a big crowds. Anyway, I was on early. I was okay, and this guy goes. And the other thing was the head of Channel 4 was in to see him, particularly when we were told he's coming to see this guy. You know, so he's a big shot, and so he goes on, and for some reason, just didn't go. He was headlining, he just didn't go over. They didn't get it. Didn't go for it, and he started to get angry with them, right? And which obviously, as we know, is the fundamental mistake.
Exactly what you want to see, though.
Yeah, an angry man, and he goes, "Oh, you know, F the lot of you," and he throws the mic down and he walks off. And you know, the Bearcat is like a doorway that leads down into the kitchen, and he walked and he banged his head on the door and he fell back onto the stage. Right? Onto his back. When everyone goes, complete silence. You know, having been pretty much heckled off, suddenly we all feel sorry for him. And then he has to get up and just leave. And then then with the Bearcat, as you know, you had to leave through the audience, walk, and the Channel 4. So that's the worst death I've.
I got slapped. I did a gig in Streatham. It's like a little jazz venue, and I got slapped or sort of punched in the face.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, by a woman. Yeah, and I was so shocked by it. I was sort of
yeah.
And I didn't know whether to stay in character or so. I was, oh bloody hell, that's really not nice, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's horrible.
I saw when you start. There's like two types of people. There's people that really love comedy and lunatics, basically. Yeah. And there was a guy, a comedy calf used to do like an open mic thing on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And this guy, he was a bit older, but he was just sort of one of those open spots forever. One of those guys.
It wasn't Jimbo, was it?
Not Jimbo,
Jimbo.
Lovely Jimbo.
Yeah.
It was this other guy, and he basically, it was basically mad, and halfway through his set, he basically said something quite offensive, and everyone was like, oh, and then he said something else. And basically, someone got up onto the stage halfway through his set and then sort of pinned him by his neck against the back of the wall and basically said something that we couldn't hear and then sat back down again. And then this guy did another like 4 or 5 minutes and then got off, and then he came off. And I said, oh, how are you, Steve? And he genuinely said, oh, I feel like I lost him in the middle there.
Yeah. They're the ones that never get anywhere. The ones that don't realise.
No.
Yeah.
I feel half the battle.
They stormed it. They come off and say stormed it.
Yeah, it's quite.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell! Yeah.
I remember Jimbo. And Jimbo could be. Some nights he could go really well, actually.
Yeah.
I remember he did an open spot up the creek. So it's 5 minutes. He goes on and he just spends 5 minutes fiddling with the microphone. This might be the compost.
This is lovely.
It's gone full circle.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling from the
Binky and Sutton, yes. Thank you.
Hello. Just regarding the box delivery, you requested to change the date. I just wanted to give you a quick call because the email I received was a request for the 1st or the 3rd.
Yes.
Typically, we're only actually in the area on the 2nd.
Oh, okay. Well, that would do.
Yeah, I just wanted to check that you weren't actually away or something that day.
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
Okay, wonderful. I'll get it booked into the 2nd then.
That's the compost, right?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
That's great.
The 35, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and do you know roughly what time that will be on?
We don't know until the evening before when regional planning sends the wrong hand down. You get an automated text message that gives you an AM or a PM time.
Okay. All right. That's great. Thanks,
Thank you
very much for your help. Cheers.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's your bookend.
Yeah.
You know, it couldn't
On that
be
bombshell.
How much is you getting delivered?
30 litres.
30 litres?
Yeah, it's not liquid.
Come in litres?
No.
I'm not sure it comes in
It's not liquid. It's just a compost. It is bags, litre bag. It's in it's 7 litre bags.
So how's it 13?
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah.
Let me just check the order. Let me just.
Honestly, please do. Here we go.
I like your concentration face.
100 litres. 30 bags of 100 litres. 30 bags. It's 3,000 litres.
Do you live in the Serengeti?
The kid who's doing helping me in the garden, who's a friend of my daughter's. He said get about 30 bags. We'll have to dig out. Yeah, people are digging out their basements. We're filling ours up.
Please send a picture of the amount of compost you have delivered on the 3rd.
Yeah, I will. The 3rd, yeah. Compost.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Harry. That's so lovely.
Can I take a picky for the...
Perhaps I should do one, should I?
For the wall.
The correct thing to...
Yeah, that's what poddies do.
Us poddies. You're one of us now, Harry. You're one of the pod guys.
I will do
There we go.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
I don't know why I raised my shoulders up a bit.
You look great, Joe.
Do I? I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
It's a gallery view, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Gallery. I'm not completely stupid.
There we go.
No,
Harry's taking a selfie rather than a
I don't know why I'm taking them.
I could watch this all day. What a lovely surprise guest. Oh,
Good to talk to you, fellas.
It's a nice little show, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you reckon you're going back and listening to the other 170 eps?
As George Martin famously said to the Beatles after they recorded "Please Please Me," congratulations, gentlemen! You've just recorded your first #1 podcast.
Lovely.
Oh, we're going up the chart.
This is dynamite.
Yeah. Thanks, Harry.
Thanks, Harry. Lovely speaking with you. Really appreciate your time. Oh, brilliant.
Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day. Thanks. Oh, dear.